I'm Laura Perrott, the VP of Marketing for TM Forum.
And I'm Liz Parry, CEO of Lifecycle Software.
I'm here today to talk to Liz a little bit about Lifecycle Software as well as women in technology.
So Lifecycle Software, we're established in 1995, so we are 30 years old this year. We started as a billing vendor in telecoms, and we now focus on the MVNO market. We have been acquired by Lumen Group in 2020, and I've been with Lifecycle for about 10 years, so I did 5 years before acquisition and 5 years after. We work with MNOs, mobile network operators in the UK primarily, and Europe. And we are looking to grow into new markets at the moment. I became CEO last July after a few other roles in the management team, and I've worked in nearly all of the departments. My background is actually in finance, so I've taken a step into tech, and that was after a career break that I had to have my children. Had about 6 years off, and I think that gives a new perspective on where you want to go when you come back to work, and moving sort of through your career journey.
Nice, yeah. We talk a lot, I'm actually co-founder of a company called Women at Tech, and we talk a lot about squiggly careers, about trying different avenues, and also about career breaks as well, and the motherhood penalty. Can you tell me a little bit about what your career's been like taking that time out and whether that in fact impacted you in your career?
Starting off in finance gives you a really good background in business. I worked in a number of different industries in retail, catering, hospitality. I've worked in government, and so the public sector as well as the private sector. I think that led me to understand that I need to be in a fast-moving industry. I very much sort of seek out roles where there is quite a lot of pressure, and I thrive in those environments. But I think taking some time out to have my children and then return to work as a working mum requires quite a lot of support at home. So you can't do it on your own. Some people do it on their own, but I for sure couldn't do it on my own. And my children are teenagers now, so they are slightly more independent, but it brings different challenges. Juggling all of those challenges provides you with a skill set that you might not have otherwise. And so I think my perspective is very different compared to before I had children. I've had the opportunity to mature, both personally and professionally, in that time. So it's allowed me to focus properly on the areas that I really want to.
So we actually see that quite a lot of women, even when they enter tech, often leave it as well. What's been your experience with Lifecycle and being a woman in technology?
So I was really lucky. I applied for a finance role at Lifecycle, and when I met the founder, he was kind enough to say, actually, I really like Liz, and we're going to create a different role for her. So I was really fortunate that was the environment that I came into. And what I found within Lifecycle is that they foster that culture. So we recruit people for attitudes, for behaviours, and not for skill sets. And consequently, I've been welcomed with open arms throughout the 10 years that I've been here. It's the longest I've ever been in a company. And we still actively recruit people for behaviours. We encourage people to move between departments. We encourage people to gain new experiences. You know, it could be attending industry events, for example, could be being exposed to customers when normally you're much more behind the scenes. So we encourage flexibility. If people want to have a go at something, we'll find a way to enable that.
It sounds amazing. And we're coming up to International Women's Day. What would be your advice for any woman wanting to enter the tech industry?
I think you need to do your research. Research in tech is really, really important. You also need to have a genuine interest in it. You can't just come in to the industry and hope that it's all going to come together. You need to have a genuine passion for it. I've previously focused a lot on the data analytics side of things. I like to understand the numbers behind it. It's probably my finance background coming out a little bit. So it's important that you know what you want to focus on, and that you're able to find a way of doing that within your day-to-day life. Because if you move into areas where you're not particularly interested in what you're doing, then it's really hard. So easy to lose that passion, I suppose.
So can you tell me a little bit about the management at Lifecycle Software?
When I joined Lifecycle, there was one female on the management team. and we have, and there were about 30 of us, and I think I was about maybe the third or the fourth female. So, and we're now double the size, more than double the size, and we have actively encouraged women who might want to return to work after a career break, and we've encouraged people to move up through the ranks. And I've been really, really lucky to have some promotions, and a lot of people have believed in me. And so I joined the management team about 5 years ago. And since then, we have now include the finance director, we have a female marketing director, we have a female head of professional services. So over 50% of our management team is now female. And that really provides a completely different perspective on how to run a company. Female leadership styles are typically more collaborative. We tend to focus on the human aspect of things, and I try and bring a bit of the human side of things to tech. And I genuinely think that's why we have grown as a company and why we continue to push forward and be at the cutting edge of the industry.
And finally, TM Forum's global flagship summit, DTW Ignite, is coming up in June. Lifecycle Software are a massive supporter. What are you hoping to achieve there this year?
We are super excited to be going back to Copenhagen again. It's one of my favourite events. Actually, it's my favourite event of the year. I'm not going to say where we are right now, but no, I love DTW. It's a really friendly, welcoming event. We are going to be there talking about Nexus. Nexus is our MV&E platform. We'll be looking forward to meeting up with some old friends and some hopefully new friends, and sharing a bit about that platform, a bit about what we do in the industry, and hopefully engaging in some really good conversations with some of our peers.
Yes, and that's what I hear too. What people say about DTW is where people come for real talk and real conversations. So should be some good ones.
I can't wait. So yeah, we will be there, and we will have a team of people on the floor, and we'll be looking forward to catching up with everybody.
Yeah, look forward to seeing you.